Alrighty, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome back everybody to a bit more Tales of Phantasia. Last time, Chris, our main character, got his entire village murdered by a power-hungry Black Knight, who then subsequently got killed, releasing Dals, the seemingly big bad evil guy of this game, who was sealed away, well, until then. And just before our party got wiped out by Dals, Tornix D. Morrison, an ally we found along the way, sent us back 100 years into the past, where we learned that Dals was already the lord of an empire, seemingly wanting to take over the world at that point. So, we learned also that only magic can harm Dals, so we found Clarf, a scholar and summoner of spirits, as well as Archie, a half-elven mage to help out. We are currently on a quest to make as many pacts as possible with summoned spirits to have a better chance at defeating Dals. And then the plan is to meet up with the Empire of Midgard, who is willing to fight Dals as well. So, let's see how that's going to go. And... there it is. I was looking for my scene switch. Let's see how this is going to go today. I have to admit, I don't know the exact position where I left off, whether I need to still go into the castle first, or whether I'm fine just moving out at this point. I guess I'll see. I'm gonna go talk to Runeglum real quick, who is the court wizard of this castle, and we're now basically trusted envoys of Alvanista here. Because, well, we kind of helped them out in a pickle, because their son got... well, the king's son got possessed by one of Dal's minions. As you have the ring, but you still need Luna. Like the king said, when you've attained the power you seek, head towards Midgard. Alrighty, Luna is our next goal. So we just repaired the rings by resetting them back to their original form, I guess you could say. Because the way we found the rings in the Moria galleries, they were rather broken, to say the least. And, well, thankfully we managed to repair them thanks to the elves that helped us, well, return them to their original form, as I mentioned before. I'm not good at summarizing if I haven't written stuff down, but the short version is, we now have all we need in order to form a pact with Luna. The element of light, I think it is in this game. So, Luna happens to be over here on the east, so let's head over there. All your homies hate Dals. It's such a big meanie. I'm also going to set my status to be all the way back so I can more easily run away from combat, because I actually don't want to use any holy bottles, because you cannot buy any once you get up to Midgard. Holy bottles are to reduce random encounters, or entirely eliminate them if you know exactly how it works. But yeah, in Midgard you can't buy any, and I will want to have a bunch there. Alright, that's actually pretty much all there is, isn't it? I think at some point I also wanted to buy a second... oh, you can't. I thought you could buy iron boots here. Maybe not. Okay, buying some orange gummies, remedy bottles to remove status effects, flare bottles to increase my damage, and I guess that's all we can do for now. Hi Tiro, welcome. Hope you're doing well. What year is it? 2015? No, it's about 10 years later now. Welcome, I hope you're doing well. I love how Mint just kind of throws her hammers and we get to run away afterwards. Very convenient. By the way, a little fun fact. Theoretically, it would be optimal if I were to have Chris being petrified or paralyzed, because you stay petrified and paralyzed between combat, but in that form, I would be able to press the L button and start running away right away, rather than waiting until my character walks all the way to the edge of the screen. But simultaneously, there's not really a convenient way to do that, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. The main reason why I want to keep the holy bottles is because there's gonna be an entire tower coming up, because this is where we find Luna. You know what, I probably should just use them anyways. And then just go back and buy more. Poor Mint having to carry the crest statue, indeed. Alrighty, welcome to the Tower of the 12 Stars, floor 1. Where we need to go ahead and climb the entire thing to try and find Luna. So, the way this works in here is there are these tablets in the center, and they just kind of tell us what we need to do. It says the ancient people sang the songs of darkness. So here's a fun fact, I have completely and entirely forgotten most of these solutions, so we'll figure them out again, I guess. But yeah, Songs of Darkness is our clue, and the way we get to Songs of Darkness is by activating some statues in here. Also, apparently there's just Basilisk Scale and Sage. You played this as a kid, and you always wondered how accurate the fan translation of certain scenes were. I argue that there's probably quite a bit of liberty taken for the translators, having a bit of fun. But I actually don't know. I don't know the Japanese original. So that's as good as my guess gets. Alright, this was an entirely wrong wing of the tower. Oh. And they are just kind of... Ooh, they don't take any damage. Clarth, I would like to have you cast Maxwell. Alright, Maxwell does good damage, so we're just gonna have him continuously cast that over and over. The problem is right now that Mint actually keeps getting hit into Clarth, and that interrupts his spellcast. Poor Mint. That's a mean ambush. Alright, we need you to heal up again. I don't actually have my strongest attack yet that you normally use for a speedrun all the way through, and you would have since a while, because I didn't kill off my allies in order to get all the experience on one character. Tractate run, is that a book? It is. A book covered in the hides of various animals. Great. It's a physical attack book. I don't think any of... Actually, feel free to correct me, because I'm actually not sure about this. I think none of the books actually make you deal increased damage with the summons. It's literally just with a physical attack that Clarth basically never really uses. Alright, there's these statues here. And we can press a button. And this is definitely not the Songs of Darkness. I don't remember which statue I need to press. I also don't know where the switches and chests are exactly, so I guess I'm gonna find this out again. Press the button, sure. I don't think this sounds like Songs of Darkness either. Physical attack book. I'll smack you over the head with it. Yep. I mean, it's a viable strategy if you play Ragnarok Online. Although I guess viable might be in quotation marks. I think it's in the bottom right here. Or is it this one? Press the button. No, that's not Songs of Darkness. And welcome to XF, I hope you're doing well. Mud Golem, Dark Mage. Alright, we got away. The Dark Mage could theoretically cast spells and interrupt me running away, which is a bit inconvenient. How about this one? You wonder if it was totally different or exaggerated with translation? I would actually be also curious. This sounds like the Songs of Darkness. Oh, wait, isn't this the song we had when walking into this dungeon to begin with? I just now remembered that one of the solutions is you just go straight through the door because it already is set up the way it needs to be. And I'm pretty sure this was this one, I just forgot. Oh well, that's okay. Let's see. The ancient people sang the songs of happiness. Alright, let's see where we go here. Huh? Oh, this already is the same song I'm playing right now. So now the chest here. A holy rune has been found. I think this is like 10% increased maximum HP. Which reminds me, I never actually did increase my maximum HP to, you know, more easily survive everything. You followed the game FAQs guide for this one? Well, that's fair. Especially when I was younger, I would just read walkthroughs as a, like, because I liked reading them. Alright, Mud Golem and the Dark Mage. I actually need to... Oh wait, the Dark Mage is actually not gonna cast a spell. Because enemies only cast spells if they are like the closest to your character. Might as well finish this guy off, I guess. Maxwell can deal so much damage, by the way. Like, it's 140 to 1400 damage in this case, it seems like it. I don't actually know the exact damage range, but that's just the numbers I'm seeing. We acquired a heavy stone. This prevents us getting hit by a gravity spell, which I believe we're past the point where that's actually anything relevant. That sounds like a song of happiness, so let's see. There we go. You also remember the very early patch messing up the enemy drops and getting endgame weapons in like the first dungeon? Yeah, I heard something about that too. When I was doing research for speedrun routing, I was trying to find glitches and all sorts of things, and that's one of the things I stumbled upon there. Oh, wait, that's not in the original? That's supposed to be in a translation patch error? It's like, oh, I can't use that. The ancient people sang the songs of tranquility. Alright. Remedy bottle, can't carry anymore. Basilisk scales. Well, those are still useful. I do believe they are a full heal in the overworld. Can't use it in combat though. Ooh, you're immune to lightning. I'm actually gonna use a flare bottle here to increase my physical damage output. Uh-oh. Barf is getting harassed. No, it's just a one-shot. Yep, Maxwell is ridiculous. It can be extremely powerful, but it also can just be doing pitiful damage. It's still kind of your best option for the most part. Did we just get a resist ring? We sure did. Huh. I have no idea what enemies can drop around here. There's like one relevant random enemy drop in the speedrun that I know of anyways. Three brigands. Question mark weapon. I doubt that is terribly useful, but I actually don't know what that is. Did I buy rune bottles? I hope I did. Rune bottles are used in order to identify... I did not buy a full stack of it, I only have 9 right now. Let's see... Oh, that's a weapon we already got from Basilisks earlier. So it's probably just a regular short sword. Alrighty, Tranquility. Yes, that sounds like Tranquility to me. So here we go. I might be half remembering as to where to go. I think the next one is on the right side. Do different weapons stack? No. If it's like the cipher, even if it's not identified, they have their own pile. We got a massive Fallout 3 Game of the Year official guide. 750 plus pages. Nice. You love flipping through and reading random things. That's great. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these guides, like the old big booklets especially, with those big illustrations with all sorts of trivia and little fun things. If you haven't seen like the Lufia 2 German big guide, or Sigr of Mana, and probably also Terranigma as well as Illusion of Time, all of these were like big box thingies, and I bet all of these have really nice like art and illustrations. My favorite one is still one of the ones from Sigr of Mana, where you see Watts, and he just like very nicely and calmly just sits on something. Actually, don't know it exactly. Oh hey, tractor beam. Wait, tractor beam? That's not tractor beam, that was stone wall. There we go, there's the tractor beam. I'm just barely outside of it, so I don't get interrupted while running away. So maybe heavy stones are useful in here. I mean, to be honest, I just largely don't fight random enemies for the most part. Because my playthrough tends to be just more or less straight to the point. Oh. Wait, that's already Song of Tranquility. I was wrong as to where to go. I didn't even read what I need to do. Did this game have a lot more puzzles than later games in the series? Are you remembering correctly? I'm not sure about more puzzles, but this game certainly did have a few puzzles overall. Ancient people sang the Songs of Darkness. Oh, we just need the Song of Darkness again. Is it in the center or on the left side? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Silver Key. I actually have never played any Tales of games aside from this one and Symphonia. Symphonia I played first. So when I later played Tales of Phantasia, I was under the impression, oh, are all of these universes connected? But no, not really. It just happens that Symphonia and Phantasia are like the most related, if you will. There's one Dark Mage and we're out of here. Rabbit's foot. Maybe. Actually, I think it's the other one on the right side. Yeah, this is not it. Nope, that's Songs of Happiness. We need Darkness again. Yep. These are the Songs of Darkness. Floor 6. Where do we go next? I don't remember. Is it to the right now? I know it's to the right at some point. Rune bottle. I think it might be on the right side here. Because I half remember there being like one of those chests that I used to pick up in a speedrun until later, where it just turned out to be not necessary. Mint's just carrying this entire party, protecting everybody on the retreat. Let's see what the tablet says. Songs of Courage. Yeah, this kind of sounds courageous if you ask me. By the way... Oh. These rooms in between don't have enemy encounters, so if I still have the white bottle shimmer around me, next time I go into the next room with enemy encounters, I have 255 steps until the next enemy. Which, by the way, if you play the SNES version, if you run, you get twice as quickly to the next enemy encounter. Basically needs half as many steps. So that's why I'm walking instead of running. Alrighty. What are you doing here? This stairs lead to my elder sister's room and you're not allowed up there. So this little guy is kind of being a little bit mean because, well, he's protecting his big sister Luna upstairs. And also, he's a fairy, which apparently is kind of more or less an extinct race at this point. Something of that equivalent. And basically, he's a bit of a mischievous guy. He dares us to go ahead and, you know, have Cress and Archie kiss each other. Because, I don't know, it's the worst thing he could think of to prove ourselves to be worthy to go up to Luna or something like that. Archie just goes, hey, yeah, sure, why not? We can do that, no problem. But kind of Mint has a little bit of a problem with that, which is a thing, I guess. Also here, Artemis here, which is the fairy guy, he is being scolded by his big sister Luna upstairs and says, Artemis, stop that nonsense and give them something for their trouble. And Artemis gives Archie Ray, which is one of the best spells that she can possibly have. This is a really, really good spell. Like, this is a fantastic makeup gift. Also here, this is an interesting line. You know, something about that little jerk, something in his eyes just looked really sad. I didn't think about it before. He may very well be the last living fairy. That would be enough to make anyone sad. Just a little bit of fun story along the way, I guess. At least the first part was fun. The second conclusion might not really be that fun. Either way, worth noting about this thing here, if you go to Midgard first, before going into Luna's tower, this little mischievous Artemis actually steals your Alvanista crest, which means that the guards don't believe you that you are the envoys from Alvanista and just don't let you in. So you have to go back to the tower here and get it. Hello. And this is Luna. Luna is just kind of the kind of person who prefers to not fight at all. But it seems these days there is no alternative. Very well, you have my full support, so we don't even need to prove our worth in battle against Luna. She just joins us straight up. Welcome to the team, Luna. Luna is kind of like holy-ish damage, I guess. There is like damage advantage and disadvantage in this game, but I don't actually know exactly how it works. But she is useful in a number of cases, especially since her casting animation is also reasonably quick. Alongside Ray, both of these should be light elements that can be quite helpful. And as we leave, Luna, my only sister. Now I really am alone. Don't worry, she'll return. Right? Also, my holy bottle just ran out. But if I'm not mistaken, I can just walk all the way outside, even though this is more than 255 steps all the way. These rooms in between here, because they have no enemy encounters, just reset the step counter every time I enter them again. By the way, if anybody has a bit of additional trivia or lore or like interactions, was I wrong? I must have been wrong, because I cannot just walk outside here. Clearly there was not a reset in between. I must be thinking of the top floor only. That's kind of what I was getting at, by the way. My memory is not that great about this game. Plus, I actually haven't explored it as in-depth as I have, like, Secret of Mana or something like that. So, if you have any interesting tidbits and trivia and lore to add, or things you can do that may or may not be optional, feel free to let me know, so I might be able to explore them too. Alrighty, the reason I'm going back here is twofold. One, I want to restock all of my supplies, which does include holy bottles. Actually, that's literally the main reason. I was thinking twofold, because one part is supplies, the other part is holy bottles, but holy bottles are basically supplies to avoid enemy encounters. If you just fight everything along the way, I think you have a much smoother, like, experience curve experience along the way. But also, I've played this game sufficiently that I think it would just take quite a long time to try and do that. So I'm fine with just taking my time. I could buy mixed gummies here in order to have, like, TP and HP recovery, since the next big dungeon is going to be a large one. You know, sure, why not? In the speedrun, you do eventually have enough money to buy the mixed gummies. Plus, I have a bunch more treasures and stuff that I picked up along the way anyways. Alrighty, let's head to Midgard and meet our allies in the fight against Daos. You just remember getting the laser sword, you don't know if that's GBA only. There is a light sword in this version in any case. So I would guess that should be the same. It's a random drop from an enemy in the upcoming, well, dungeon soon here. Also, by the way, Archie's physical attack is okay. 100 damage isn't too terrible. Especially since I effectively just upgraded her broom earlier from the dungeon we went into. I've not bought any weapon upgrades for Mint, Archie, or Clarf. Just because they're largely not doing anything with those weapons. But Archie occasionally whacking enemies with this is actually quite helpful. Welcome back to Midgard. I'll make sure real quick. Well, actually, I couldn't buy rune bottles over there. Let me real quick see if I can buy rune bottles here. You can't buy holy bottles here. That's kind of the one notable part. There's no rune bottles. Alrighty, can I buy iron boots here? No. Alright, I would have to have bought those earlier. That's okay. We don't need them, but they would just be nice to have on various characters to reduce incoming damage. Alrighty, these are the guards where we would be robbed of our Albanista crest. Because of course they don't believe that a bunch of teenagers or kids are the official envoys from Albanista and supposed to meet with the great and important people. We can also just move around during this waiting period or talk to the characters here. Also, if you open up and close the menu, the timer until the next event happens resets. So in the speedrun, you can just run in circles, see how clean or how many circles you can make. There's no point in making circles, you just wait. Tic-tac-throw, thank you so much for 56 months of support. That's quite a long time. Welcome back, and I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Alrighty, we meet with the military advisor of Midgard here, and his name is Lysen, as well as Edward D. Morrison that we met earlier too. And, well, this could be quite interesting. Also, Archie kind of remarks here as to why is Daos doing all this? Like, why is he attacking? What is he to gain from that? And Archie is starting to, like, question things about the motives as to why Dals attacked the other village earlier and wiped out all the people. Why is he specifically attacking Midgard? He didn't attack Alvanista. Like, he could have tried to wipe these out too. Like, there's something a little bit sketchy going on, but, well, we don't actually know what it is exactly so far. However, Edward D. Morrison just kind of basically vows for us, even though we look young, we are indeed quite capable for all sorts of things. Also, if I'm not mistaken, this is where we go to bed in order to, well, eventually prepare for war, but we need to have the war meeting first. So Lysen, is it true that Dals warned you to stop your mystic research? If you'd stopped, Midgard does not take orders from the likes of Dals. You just concentrate on your research. Mystic is basically the concept of using magic tech in Final Fantasy VI, if you know the equivalent. It's basically magic and machines combined to use the power of magic despite, well, being humans, I guess. So it's kind of a different way of harnessing the power of magic. And Dals wants them to stop. The implication is, well, at least as we understand it so far, is because Dals can only be harmed by magic, he wants them to stop using that stuff, so, well, he has free reign over things. At least that's kind of the general idea. Also, there's a little detail here. Archer's just kind of standing a little bit to the side. She's just thinking about, well, that seems weird. Is it weird? It's a godless city, that's why they don't have holy water. As in, is it an actual in-game thing, or is it just... Either way, kind of like before, we get introduced to the researchers in Midgard Castle, and we can kind of ask them all sorts of questions if we'd like. So, what we do is we can introduce us to this one, ask this one about stuff, and studying the relationship between elements and magic, if only the elves would aid us. You can't enter through this door. Well, that's a shame. Anyone here? So yeah, basically they've been working on a big weapon called the Mystic Cannon, where it gathers and unleashes a gigantic blast of magical energy towards the foes. So that might be, well, helpful. Also, as you can see, they are definitely preparing for war one way or another. Lots of supplies, everything is starting to build up. It's a joke. I mean, I don't know if there's like a holy place around this city. It would kind of make sense. Something is fishy. What do you mean? I don't get what Dals has to gain from a war like this. I realize he attacked the villages, but... But what? Why hasn't Dals moved against Euclid or Venetia? He's already shown us he could destroy an entire country from the inside out. Remember what he did to Alvanista's prince? He still hasn't really done anything against Midgard. Why not? We can't answer those questions. And Cress is just getting angry that... Look, Archie, if you want us to stop trying to fight Dals, have you forgotten what you did to Harmel, wiping out the entire village? And yeah, Dals was responsible for all of those deaths. And it basically directly affected Archie, but she's still questioning things. What do these places have in common? Well, if we asked around in town earlier, you actually could already connect some of the dots. In Harmel, there was actually a bit of research going on into Mystic, as in machines and the magic combination. Also, at this point, Archie just kind of wants to go home and says, well, we have preparations to do. I have some important questions to ask to my father. So, well, Archie, here we are. Archie? And incredibly furious, she goes, "You lied to me! Mommy is not dead! Why did you tell me that?" And her father is now in a bit of a pickle, in a sense. So, the short story about Archie's mother is that the elves at some point decided to seclude from the humans. They pulled out all the pureblood elves forcibly, whether they wanted or not. And even though, well, his mother, Archie's mother, wanted to live with him, she just didn't really have much of a choice but to retreat back into the Ymir forest. And basically, her mother actually just requested that, please, don't ever mention me towards our daughter, because she would want to come and visit me, and because she is a half-elf, she would get sentenced to death. So this is probably for the best of all of us. So this is kind of giving us a bit more insight into... There was a split between the humans and the elves. We don't entirely know the motivations as to why the elves want to absolutely have nothing to do with the humans anymore, but this appears to be kind of what happened at this point. Archie, understanding but visibly upset. Well. We also came here to ask a few more questions. Did Leah's parents do something wrong? What do you mean? There's got to be some connection between the Scarlet family and Midgard. Well, they moved to Harmel from Midgard several years ago. Supposedly they were working on some top-secret project for the government. Perhaps they were looking for a way to use magical power against dolls. Why is that dolls and magic seem to be interrelated? He's afraid it's his only weakness. We've got to go back to Midgard. Agreed. Let's go. So yeah, more evidence on this. But also, as we return, Cress goes, huh? Something is going on at the castle gate. Mr. Morrison is back there! Alrighty. The short version about this scene here is that Edward D. Morrison is facing off against a demon that was actually just sent here as a messenger. But the demon decided to have a bit more fun than just being a messenger, and took one of the little kids hostage. One more step and I'll disembowel him. Edward D. Morrison not knowing much better than to show off his trickery. Time magic. But unfortunately, he just blows himself up alongside the demon. That was a powerful demon to just being able to catch him like that. And having one less powerful enemy seems like the best choice to him. So the little star you saw there was time magic, because we learned that earlier. But then there's just a big white light. Maybe kind of like the big white light that Tornix D. Morrison used in order to get us back to the past. But in reality, at least to my knowledge, this is it for Edward. We're not going to see Edward again. We actually don't know what happens to him, ever. So he is gone. Which is a big problem, because this kind of changes the course of history. Cress and Mint know of an adventuring party that managed to defeat Daos about 100 years ago. Well, 100 years ago from when they were in the present. And Edward D. Morrison was one of those people on that adventuring party. And he is gone now. And that's kind of a bit of a problem if you think about it. Either way, we're introduced to the war plan. Daos is going to be attacking from the northeast and will continuously send over troops. And effectively this introduces us to the concept of the minigame we're going to be playing here. Well, we need to stop their forces from advancing, and we only have so many days in order to try and do that. So, we're going to be split up into various groups. And also the generals of this city are completely unhappy that Clark is one of the military group leaders now just kind of exclaimed. But he is kind of the stand-in for Edward D. Morrison, who is now gone. And Clark is, well, definitely smart and very capable, but relatively young to be one of those generals anyways. But yeah, so we just go and wander around the castle for a little while, and after just 20 seconds they are done with their meeting. I mean, the implication is you just go around and investigate the castle, go and ask some questions, maybe go and save, and do a bunch of stuff and then just eventually come back here. But they are now done here. We were up all night, but we are finished now, right about that. So the soldiers don't need help from outsiders like us, but our mission is going to be to ambush one of the general leaders so the army of Daz will crumble. But before that, in the year 4202, in Albanesta, the people prepare for disaster. The bloodiest war in history, the Valhalla conflict. The war's greatest hero, Edward D. Morrison. Has his death changed the outcome of the war? Only time will tell. Well, we're gonna do our best and have history repeat. Or something like that. Alrighty, welcome to the battlefield. So we get better rewards the more, well, the better we perform. That's kind of the short version. And we get the best rewards by literally just running all the way to the big enemy in the back. The goal is to reach the general of Dahl's army and take him out. If you are touched by an enemy in the environment, you'll have to fight them. Head northeast through the plains to their command. I don't exactly remember the... Give me bread! 15 of those. I don't exactly remember... What's the word? The path through here. You can just grab bread from this guy. You can grab all sorts of supplies from this guy. Yay, that's 150 health healed. It's really not much in the grand scheme of things. Alrighty, let's go. This is where the speedrun wants to have the mist ball, because you don't get into random encounters, but entirely avoiding these enemies here is actually genuinely really difficult. Because they spawn randomly like that. And so just running away tends to be the most efficient way to not get caught up in this. Also, I just realized that Clark briefly left our party, which does mean that my formation is back to this. So, I kind of sort of remember where to go through, my goodness. Also, there is like at least 2 exits to the fields, but 2 of them are closed off. And the third one is, well, there's a big dragon standing in front of it. That's one of the generals that we are trying to take out here. There are these like standing skeleton dudes, and they basically zip to your location if you get anywhere close to them. Like this guy here, but if you see them and you can react to them in time, this is fine. But here we have a bit of a problem. Unless I can juke him. Nice, that actually worked surprisingly well. Okay. I think I'm going the wrong way. There's 2 chimeras here. Those are basically basilisk type enemies. You know what, I should at least show off the enemies as we go. There's some fun sprites here and there. Here we have Old Oaks and Agumis, which basically just a recolored tree and a goblin enemy from earlier. Good job, Mint. Oh my goodness. Midnight Rest now? No? That Midnight Rest now just saved me from an encounter. Oh, we are in the middle of the enemies, so we actually have to fight our way out of it. Alright, I'm gonna run to the right here, because you can actually just escape over there. Because it is a time thing. Although I don't really care about any of the rewards I can get. You can also open up the menu to assess the situation. To avoid, like, the mean enemies just running straight into you at the beginning of combat. Oh, Chimeras in the back attack. Very unhealthy. Funnily enough, Archie doesn't usually get hit by the Chimeras or these Basilisk type enemies, because they are just attacking too low to hit her on the broom, which is quite funny to me. Alright, this guy is just in the way. Now he moves. Sometimes there's so many enemies on the screen, by the way, that it just starts lagging like crazy. So this should be, like, very close to where I need to go at this point. Yep, this is the big screen. Now we go right and up, and I think we're there. And we're back here. These guys here paralyze rather than petrify. It's a slight difference, I guess. Oh, and Archie did get paralyzed, interestingly enough. This is why I do want to have some remedy bottles with me, because paralyzation and petrification does not wear off. Alright, gonna heal up here. Put you back in the front, put Mint in the back. Maybe I should have done this after going here. Oh, by the way, so here's a little fun thing. I demonstrated previously as to how you can run away from bosses in combat. You can in fact run away from this boss in combat and just run straight to Dahl's castle. Theoretically, that would save you like 15 to 20 minutes. Problem is, the Battle of Valhalla is then subsequently still going on, and it would actually just straight up softlock you because you will not be able to proceed with a later part of the story. So I don't know whether you can possibly get past this guy. I haven't figured out. Either way, we're gonna use Luna here to try and defeat these lizards. And we're also gonna have Archie now finally start beginning casting spells as well. She is going to cast Ray, I think, in order to try and damage the big dragon. Oh, one of the lizards is already done. Luna. Laser! I love the little sign on Luna just going, laser! She doesn't deal that much damage, I just like the animation. And Ray is pretty good here. It looks like it's attacking the ground, but it is also hitting dude up top. Thunderblade also works pretty well here, but I just like laser of Luna. Maxwell is way better, by the way, in this game. Like, it's not even a contest. Laser! Probanda goes from Luna to laser. It's so great. Let's see. I didn't think that did much. Either way, Maxwell is basically shredding this poor dragon here. Oh. Apparently I shredded that poor dragon. You learned Phoenix from this fight. I think Phoenix is used in like one instance or something. Oh yeah, I use Phoenix in the backup strategy, I remember. Either way, the armies are retreating, we have defeated them, and now we can go and get our rewards. Because we managed to beat back the entire army. Forever! Well, we wish. Alrighty. Clarf gets some presents. Because we did reasonably well, we get 10,000 gold. I believe you theoretically get like a book if you do it in day 1, but I don't remember what the exact thing is anymore. But the enemy is on their way. They are no longer in the plains, they are taken to the sky. They are now sending out all of the winged demons. And the sky grows dark as the leathery wings flap in the distance. Get the catapult! Alrighty, so... Midgard is kind of in a bit of danger here, because they did not expect flying enemies, or at least not that many, so they are kind of trying to defeat them in some capacity. Hungry? Oh yeah, she just sells all sorts of food. This guy also sells some items. Oh, he has a mecha halberd. This is also where I want to switch around some items here. So, the battle rune will not be as important as just having a lot more maximum HP in the very near future here. So, I'm gonna equip the Black Onyx for 30% more maximum HP. And importantly here, I will want to also equip a Black Onyx on Archie to have more maximum HP as well. As I'm going to give her... Oh, right, I need to unequip it on Clark first. I want to give her a mystical rune here. The mystical rune allows her to cast spells twice as quickly, which is really, really, really good. I don't have any armor upgrades in any capacity. Maybe I should have bought some, but I think that will be fine. But, most importantly... oh wait, I don't have the stuff prepared yet. Let me actually just do this anyways. So along the journey, we have picked up these... Where are they? Just put the food in the food bag. Where are these? Non-elixir, lavender, no. Where is it? Savory? Kind of. We have a red savory... Sage, is it? Yes. Alrighty, we have a bunch of sage that we can use, and a bunch of savory. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn all of these, with the rune bottles I have, into a red sage. Red sage gives you 10% more HP, and I can effectively transform... the savory from their TP, as in your magic power rating, up to the HP as well. So I can just kind of transform them. So we're gonna make these three into red. So that's 10% more HP. And then I'm going to see I have 3 more available. Turning all of these as well into a red sage here. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to effectively... I have the Black Onyx equipped for 30% more maximum HP, right? This is plus 10%. So this is 2,641. Now what I want to do is I want to unequip the Black Onyx, then equip it again. Actually, I think the unequipping and equipping is not necessary. I just need to leave the menu and come back in. Because now I should get 270 HP out of this. There it is. But basically, the game doesn't update my new maximum HP until I, like, update the menus. So I kind of want to leave the menu every time. So this should be almost 300 more maximum HP. Right there. Otherwise, you would just keep getting... Like, if I didn't leave the menu just now, I would keep getting 300 HP, 300 HP, etc. But this is kind of how you maximize your maximum HP. And this is going to make Cress into quite a formidable tank. is more or less the entire point of this. And I will be able to max out his HP really early on. There we go. This is going to make him, well, give him over 5000 HP at level 23, which is quite ridiculous. But yeah, I don't currently need the Black Onyx anymore, so I'm gonna give him the Battle Rune. So, let's see. Need some medicine. He does not sell rune bottles now. Do you sell rune bottles by chance? Nope, just random little things. Alrighty. I don't think there's a save point here. I believe in the Game Boy Advance and PlayStation version there is a save point here. So let me go ahead and use Mint's MP. You might be able to tell there's a boss battle coming up. A pretty mean one at that. Predictably, I like you, Candy. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Well, thank you. You're neat as well. You who wield a Gungnir. Its importance is beyond your comprehension. So Cress already had this kind of voice in his head previously, and he had no idea where that was coming from. So something else is going on, actually. He's the only one who can hear that. Gungnir is the spear we got from the king of Albanesta after we freed his son from the clutches of Dal's minions. And now, Cress gets abducted. Mint just collapses. I'm actually not entirely sure about the significance of this, but I think she's just in shock that he's gone. I think she has really attached to him by now. But we basically land here. The symbol at the bottom might be mildly familiar. But we are basically encountering here a Valkyrie on a Pegasus. And this Valkyrie works for Odin and wants the Spear of Gungnir back. You need to return what is rightfully not yours. Alrighty, so Cress has kind of an idea. You know, there are flying enemies invading Midgard right now. Archie is the only one who can currently fly and be able to defend the town. But maybe Cress can help out a little bit as well. But also, before that, the big cannon of Midgard is about to power up. Let me tell you, this sequence looks really good for Super Nintendo, but I really, really like the one on PlayStation. It's a pretty strong cannon. But also here we get a bit of a glimpse. Mana is disappearing. If you don't know the story, you might be able to start connecting the dots. But also, we cannot fire again. And even though there's going to be more enemies incoming, although a lot of them have been annihilated by the big cannon, the cannon needs a bunch of time to recharge. But thankfully, Cress returns just in time for Pegasus here, in order to try and defend for everybody. Okay, let me tell you, this is going to be the most awkward battle in the entire game. Like, just kind of gameplay-wise. It is not good. As much as I like this game, this is not good. However, I absolutely love the setting. Like, there's just still a bunch of flying enemies left that are about to attack the city, and Archie was until now the only person who could fly and defend the city. Thankfully, the Pegasus actually gives her power to fly even higher than she usually can, because there's a limit in how high she can fly normally. But the problem with this entire sequence here is that twofold. One, the game forcibly equips the Gungnir spear on us, which is way weaker than the Mecha Halberd we have been using so far. And 2, way worse, we cannot use any abilities. We are just stuck using regular attack. I can do a jumping attack, I can do a swing, and that's it. So effectively, this is why I kitted out Archie here. She's the one that needs to basically do all the work here. And let me put it this way, she cannot do all the work here. But Thunderblade is going to help out a lot here. It is almost going to knock these guys out. And thanks to the Mystic Rune, she casts this really, really fast. This is also why I gave Crest all that HP. Right, so here's a little problem. These guys, they absorb all elements. You cannot deal damage to them with spells. So I have to use my physical attacks against them. So Flare Bottle. I'm pretty sure they absorb all elements anyways. Yep. So my best attack is the jumping attack. And that is not because it does the most damage. It's because I actually hit something. Also, they like to retaliate with Thunderblade in their own. So this guy here is on a good height. This is why the broom actually becomes useful. We actually hit this guy and he's done. Very nice. Alrighty, we need to heal Archie here. Very important. But yeah, the reason here, I just swung because I was not too far enough away in order to do the jump attack. So that's the problem with this fight here. I cannot hit these guys that are flying too low with a regular attack. I have to be far enough away from them in order to initiate a jump attack, which you cannot do unless you're, well, far enough away from them. It is really awkward to try and take these guys down. Thankfully, these guys have been really friendly, like they have not done any heavy spell casting like they can do. So this is nice. Plus the other guy decided to fly in between Archie and Cress, where we just ping-ponged him back and forth, making this kind of ideal. And this is why upgrading her broom is useful. Like literally this. Alrighty. Now this is where Ray actually becomes useful. These demons here would usually survive 2 Thunderblades, but they do die to a Thunderblade at 2 Rays. I think. Maybe they don't. Oh, they probably do. Let me have Archie cast Firewall on the Harpy there. It's not efficient, but I don't want to accidentally hit the little Charon enemy, because this guy is going to be annoying. Also, Archie just get hits. She is the most important character here. I need to keep her alive, so I need to keep healing her. Oh, she also got poisoned. All inconvenient. Poisoned isn't the big deal, like its damage is kind of low, but I want to keep her as high HP as possible here. Crest is just a tank now? Largely, yes. Alright, this is where we just 2 times Ray and we should win. I'm literally attacking those just to keep them together so they don't go forward. So Archie hits all of them with the Ray attack. And one more. That might not hit the guy on the left. I did, nice. Good job, Archie. Gavronis, hello and welcome. Alrighty, welcome to the boss. So this is, in fact, the most awkward fight in the game. And this is what I saved the strongest consumable item core that I picked up through so far that has a total of 3 in the entire game. The yellow cake. This is effectively firing out the strongest magic attack fire-based in the entire game. I start having Archie cast Ray to deal a good chunk of damage to the big guy and the boss back here. The big guy and the boss back here. The big boss guy back here. Because this is effectively the exact same dude. Okay, you hit me, that's fine, as long as you didn't Archie. This is the same dude that we fought earlier in the plains. Except earlier in the plains I could actually use, you know, proper attacks. Thanks to the yellow cakes, it's not that big of a deal, then I just have to deal with one more awkward Charon, and we are good. But if you play this game casually, this is my recommendation. Save the yellow cakes for this encounter here. It makes it so much easier. Dal should be more worried about yellow cake. I mean, these were literally all there are. For now, anyways. So I'm not sure how much he needs to be worried about that. I guess whoever created them. But we win. The Pegasus goes back home, and thank you very much. That was fantastic from you. Instead of it flying away, it just teleports. You know, you don't need to use your wings if you can just teleport around. Kind of makes more sense. Alrighty, the king wishes to speak to us. So we can now rest for the day. Also, here we have a book of spells. This book was left on Edward's desk. He told me that if something happened to him, I should give this book to Archie. Archie learned how to cast the Indignation spell. And if you have a really good memory, you might remember Indignation was the spell that was cast at the very beginning in the intro cutscene. So now Archie is the one that has learned Indignation. Indignation is a very powerful lightning-based attack. It is still elemental, so it can be a bit tricky to use. Alrighty. I think we managed to survive this encounter here. Let's move on. Indignation. So, let's go to Dal's Castle. That's our next objective here. I'm gonna briefly resupply, and then we head over there. I probably did not need to resupply, but it just makes me more confident to have like everything I can possibly have here. And we're gonna save. So, we actually still have to cross the Valhalla Plains manually, and there are like a few treasures here and there. I believe the most interesting thing is that there's like a trainer somewhere that teaches you combo attacks. I don't know which combo attacks it is, but as I mentioned before, they are largely just not that helpful anyway, so usefulness might be limited. I think I go up here. Oh, wait, did I just randomly find you? Want me to teach a technique? 50,000 gold! Look, I'm curious, but am I that curious? Yes, I am. Cress learned Earth's Rage. I don't know what that does. May it serve you well. Alright, let's see. Earth's Rage. Lightning Bolt and Magma Rift needs to be mastered. We have mastered Lightning Bolt. I guess I could be using a lot of Magma Rifts, but I haven't even learned that ability yet. That's actually not something until we get way later. This is a high level ability. We did learn Phoenix. I'm gonna actually equip this one for up and B at long range. Phoenix basically turns you into a little firebird, very slowly, then moves you across the field, relatively slowly, and then makes you attack the enemies. Drop out of the Phoenix form and run back to where you came from. It is actually more useful than it sounds for one particular encounter that we'll get to later. Actually, technically, it is useful for another encounter later on as well. But it kind of depends on how you want to tackle them. Alrighty, we have managed to cross the Valhalla Plains. Welcome to Dal's Castle. This is a big dungeon with some tricky puzzles. By the way, there's no enemy encounters right here, so you can reset the step counter if you choose to do so. First thing I'm gonna go and do is I'm going to the left here. Because in this statue, we find a mystical rune. This thing costs like 65,000 coins, and it allows us to cast spells twice as quick, so we got a mystical rune right. Aside from that, I actually don't really know how much more other interesting things there are in this dungeon. I'm gonna try and remember the ones that I tend to pick up. So let's see. Oh, there's one here. This is a savory and a sage, so we can increase our maximum HP a bit further if we really wanted to. It can be used as a follow-up now of the Phoenix. There are no combos like the regular combos in this game. It's always you just use one ability and that's it, then you return back to square one. This door here is closed, we can't go through yet. So, alright, what you're supposed to do is make a loop here. You step on this switch, this door opens in front of us, the other door on the left actually opens as well, and we can pick up this item here, if we wanted to. But fun fact, there's another way of getting this thing. This is a book of spells. Firestorm. I think I used Firestorm like once or twice against specific enemies. Either way, then you're supposed to go all the way around, go back to where the plant was, and make a second loop, because stepping on this switch close the door on the left. However, what we can do... Oops. I can dash past the trigger and just turn around real quick here. Right, let's see what enemies we get here. Dragons and the ducks. Okay. The dragon here in particular is actually the most interesting guy. I'm gonna Luna these. I'm gonna have Archie cast Air Firestorm. Let's see how strong that might be. Oh, there's faster than us. Clark did not get a spell off, he got interrupted just before he could cast it. By the way, it does not matter how many of those little projectiles actually hit. Oh, I forgot to press this weapon again. I do this all the time. That's a lot of damage with Luna, holy moly. Either way, Archie, you can just cast Indignation. Cress has no weapon equipped because the game forcibly equipped Gungnir in the previous encounter, and then unequipped my Mecha Halberd. Oh, Indignation deals no damage. Good thing Luna deals really good damage. They are immune to lightning apparently. We get a question mark weapon. Let's see, this could be really, really good. Before that... Actually, no. Oh. Hold up. I forgot to buy rune bottles. Oh no. This weapon here could be a lightsaber. It's a rare, not that rare, it's a like, I don't know, a rare-ish drop from one of those lizards. But it's stacked onto the question mark weapon stack, so we know it's a weak weapon instead. So I'm just gonna equip the Mecha Halberd here again. And speaking of Mecha Halberds, there's more in here. There's a halberd and another Mecha Halberd. Just kind of picking those up for money later. Hey Shura, thank you for the raid and welcome everybody to Tales of Phantasia, a casual-ish playthrough. Mint also learned a spell called Nurse. Nurse heals the entire party for a good chunk of HP. It is reasonably expensive as a spell, but really, really, really good. Alrighty, so here, I believe this room here has no encounters. And the sign says up, down, right, left, down, up. Okay, up, down, right, left, down, up. And now the big question is, why would the game tell us that? Like, why would you put the key under the doormat right there for us to just figure out how to open the door? That's a good question. Next question. So, then we have some interesting encounters. Why did you zap to the left for one step dash? I'm very confused as to why that happened. Did I see that right? My character just went one tile to the left for no reason? I did not press anything. Another mirror facing this one will allow you to pass. Man. Almost as they want us to succeed. We saw the same thing, right? Oh well. If I'm not mistaken... Yeah, we can go all the way into this room here. This room also has no... secrets here. Okay, so Archie can read on this sign that all the switches on the left and the right need to be pressed at the exact same time. And this is one of my favorite additions in the PlayStation version. In the Super Nintendo version, you just need to get it right. In the PlayStation version, if you mess it up sufficiently, Clarf and Mint are going to get really annoyed at you, because Archie is just kind of being a guru and trying to fake you out for no good reason. Mint and Clarf get really annoyed at you and just decide to perfectly do the puzzle right away if you fail it often enough in the PlayStation version. It's great. You thought it was a joke with your character hiding from the skeleton shadow? You know, that would be a reasonable assumption to make, but I think that's just not intended. Also, I don't remember what's in this room. Protect rings. Rune bottles. Okay, that's good. We have one rune bottle, and if we get a sword along the way that is not stacking on the same pile, then we actually would have a great sword in our hands. Up here there's also no encounters in this room, which is nice because we have to push a statue. Also, this statue here falls through a hole in the floor, and there's a chest over there. You know, it would be kind of nice if Archie could just, you know, fly over there and grab the chest contents, but whatever. There are encounters in here. So, we need to push the statue onto the switch in order to get through the door here. And there's no statue here, and nothing else. So the second time we step on the switch, Clark goes, this door will only stay open if someone stays here on the switch to keep it pressed down. Who will you leave behind? Yeah, we leave him Mint behind. Bye, Mint. Because Clark and Archie are really good for combat, I'm just gonna leave Mint behind for now. Don't worry, we'll come back for her very soon. I think we get an encounter right around here-ish. Yeah, there it is. Ooh, Iron Man's. I'm running away. Wait, didn't Mint have the Mist Crystal? So running away is much slower now? Oh. Oh no, this could be bad. Don't hit grass, please. Clark just tanking like a champion. Good job, Clark. By the way, the firewall also puts a damage over time effect on you. It's kind of mean. Light bottle, picking back up. Good job tanking, Clark. You can continue. Tanking some more, please. So, this little room also does not have anything, but the treasure is forbidden. I messed up. Alright. So they are just going to... This is where Luna is. It's really good to just one-shot the lizards, I think, but Maxwell can knock out these evil lords much more easily. I messed up. The reason I messed up is because if you don't walk up to this guy and stand one tile away, as I've mentioned previously, you can interact with things from one tile away, which in this case is kind of fun, because they did not put any intentional triggers on as to what happens if you interact with... They did not put any triggers on what happens if you interact directly with that creature that we just kind of walked into. This is real dangerous right now. Archie keeping this guy in check is actually quite important here. But yeah, either way, because there's no intentional trigger, it's just selecting whatever is the closest trigger it can find. And you can just talk to this guy from one tile away, and it tells you it's a book of spells, and you learn the fire storm spell that we learned just earlier in the chest. It's kind of funny. We learned the Gale Shield. This is going to be one of the most powerful abilities that I can use. It's a shield, right? But, well, you'll see if I can use it properly. Alright. We're good though. We've managed to survive for now. Gonna heal Clark back up. And we get the magic mirror. This allows us to go through the mirrors. As the other thing is said, if you hold your mirror against the mirror, you can pass through. At least that's the plan. I believe we still didn't get any more question mark swords, did we? No, shame. Hey Belhard, welcome. I hope you have a lovely day so far. Alright, gonna just use another holy bottle here to reduce encounters and reset the step counter too. This should allow us to walk all the way back to the big safe room. Hi Mint, who's going to stay behind? No one, we're taking her back with us. Mint is important. So, we're just gonna backtrack now, into the mirror rooms and pass through them, just kind of to see what we can do with that. Alright, there are like 4 mirrors in this room. Only one I think is particularly interesting, which I think is this one. The magic mirror begins to glow, and we can attack these guys. Right, Archie is always in the back here, so she can't actually cast any spells. So we're gonna have you cast Maxwell. And use a flare bottle to increase my damage. Maxwell can absolutely demolish these evil lords if it gets high enough damage rolls, but most of the time it just deals about 300 damage, it seems like. There's 1,000, so now 2,900. Nice. Good job, Clark. Yeah, Maxwell can be crazy good against these guys. It's a bit random, but it works, usually. There's another question mark weapon and a rune bottle. Nice. And we also can pass through the mirror now. So I believe there's a chest in here that has a chronoglass and hourglass in it. Lavender, 10,000 gold, hourglass, there it is. And an elixir, that's nice too. And a white mist. The hourglass is great because we can stop enemy movement for 5 seconds in combat. If we use a rune bottle on it, we can stop them from 10 seconds. Even better. Did we get it? We did not get the new weapon. That's alright. Can we go through this one here? Maxwell. Gonna have Archie cast Indignation on the Gandalf. Just so he's out of the way. Ooh, that's some good damage rolls, Clark. Okay, he's not out of the way. These evil lords have so much HP, and they have a pretty quick attack. Plus, they can send out multiple projectiles which each hit like a truck. So they are dangerous, to say the least. Two question mark weapons, 2 chances for the best weapon here. Let's see if we got any good ones. We did! Nice. Alrighty. So we're gonna use one of the rune bottles we just got earlier, which should be here. And use it on the question mark weapon to identify it. And we get the Moon Phalanx, it is called in this game. This Moon Phalanx absolutely destroys the evil lords. Like, it has a bit better slice damage than the Mecha Halberd, but it is Holy Element. So it actually will do extra damage to these guys, which is kind of very useful, let's put it this way. Okay, then in here... oh, I forgot. Druids and Charons. No Charons allowed, please. Indignation. We also deal 1000 damage to these dragons with one swing now. This weapon is so much better than the previous one. I believe Maxwell is neutral element, so it should be able to deal damage to them. Unless we get interrupted. That damage that they are shooting at us adds up so quickly. Right, but this should interrupt this spell cast if we ever hit the druid. I think this one just increased its defenses. I actually don't know what this spell does at all. Oh. They absorb all elements. I cannot attack them. I just healed them for a ton. Mint, I'd like for you to heal us, please. Yeah. This is a problem. Larf is out of MP. Okay. We knocked out this guy. We need MP and Larf. I cannot attack. Archie cannot attack. Actually, Archie can technically attack. That's the funny part. Maxwell this guy. Use a life bottle on Mint. Life bottles takes forever until they finally proc. You can, by the way, complete the combat and run away from, or, well, go through the ending dialogue here before the character gets revived, and you just waste your life bottle. You want to wait on the screen until the character actually does get revived. Okay, that was a bit sketchier than it should have been. And I entirely forgot that druids just absorb holy elements, so using the Moonphalanx here is a very double-edged sword. Also use a holy bottle to reduce enemy encounters. So this sign here reads, just do the other, the thing, left and right, inverted if I'm not. Horizontally flip the last code, so you go up, down, right. Right. I did that wrong. It is up, down, left, right, down, up. And the chest contains a gold key. This is what we need in order to proceed. And we go back through. You've got silver music, Valkyrie profile-like. I don't know who composed Valkyrie Profile, but this one here is from... oh my goodness, I forgot the name. But it is a reasonably well traveled. It's a really good composer that you hear in various other games too. Motoi Sakurai? I forget the name. Why did I forget the name? Motoi Sakuraba, something like that. He's really good. He actually even, like the composer of this music even has a little cameo in the game itself, which is kind of fun. Alright, step on the switch. Who will be left behind? Alright, let's be honest. Archie hasn't really been doing a whole lot in these last 3 battles. Mint at least tanked a bunch, so we just leave her behind. Bye, Archie. And we're just gonna move on ahead without Archie. Now the thing is, you kind of need all 4 characters in order to open up a door later, so we just kind of have to go and grab her later. So we use a gold key to go over here, and because Archie can fly, just come up here. Like, why didn't we just use Archer's broom to fly across this little gap to begin with? But hey, at least the game is clever enough to say, hey, you dropped a statue in here. You can just fly back up here. I mean, at least Archie can. I actually kind of appreciate that little one. Did this ever get released with 20C before its PlayStation port? I think the Game Boy Advance version is based on the PlayStation port, so no. Well, actually, NTSC Japanese is NTSC technically too, in terms of format. Unless I'm misunderstanding your question. What's over here? I have no idea. Just a way to loop around? Huh. I didn't know there was two ways around this. Welcome to the end. Gonna have Mint heal. I'm actually gonna disable her using Nurse. I want her to specifically heal and do nothing else. Because upcoming is the big boss fight against Daos. And this one is going to be fairly difficult. So I'm just putting everybody far back, except for Cress, who's gonna be the tank. I'm gonna give him the Persian Woods for increased defense, the Black Onyx for increased maximum health. This should theoretically be sufficient, but I can use actually a few more rune bottles to get more maximum HP thingies. Gotta find them. There's the rune bottles. What are the things that I need anyways? Verbena? I keep forgetting what the item is called to increase your maximum HP. Lavender? No, that's strength. That's for later. Oh, by the way, lemon gummy heals you for 60 HP. We could use a rune bottle on an apple gummy to turn it into a lemon gummy. So clearly lemon gummies are superior. Because they heal twice as much. The Sage? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I forget what it was called. Alright, we need to turn the Sage into Red Sage. I knew that we had one Sage from the flower pot earlier. So I knew we had at least one. There's a Sage, and I'm gonna grab a Savory and turn that into a Red Sage as well. That does cost me 2 rune balls to transform. But we now have 7,500 maximum HP on Cress. And then we just go ahead and refill your MP, refill your MP. Cress actually, funnily enough, does not need any MP in this fight coming up. And I need to make sure none of the characters are casting spells unless I specifically tell them to. Actually, Mint can heal. This is fine. Right. Oh, actually, I might have done the 7-up slightly early. I forget there was like a mini-boss coming up still. Beep! Oh my goodness. Hello, if that's it, however. Hope you're doing well. And Bragan, thank you so much for a crazy long time of support. Welcome back for 87 months. And I'm glad you enjoy your stay. Thank you so much. This is why we need 4 people, by the way, and we couldn't actually leave anyone behind and just go and fight Daos with 3 characters. We needed all 4 to open this door. Actually, I think if I reload the save, I have to open this door anyways again, so saving here is kind of pointless. You'll never make it to Daos. Alright. Sometimes this happens, and I don't know why. I think this guy was temporarily invulnerable to attacks, which is kind of inconvenient. How did you manage to cast your spell through the lizard attacking you? I'm very impressed, actually. This is where you would like to have Furious Slash, but we didn't get that yet. Alright, making sure we are fully healed. Especially Archie. Actually, here's what I need to do. We put Mint... Actually, no. Mint needs to heal. We put Clark a little bit forward as a shield. And I'm gonna give him the Opal Ring for extra defenses. Alright. Let's see how this is going to go. Welcome to presumably the big bad evil guy, Daos. There you are. This is it. You're mine. What are you doing here? I have no quarrel with you. If you remember, Cress and Mint traveled from the future into the past, so Daos technically never met them. At least this Daos didn't. So he has no idea what he did in the future, in a sense. But Crest just goes, you have no quarrel with me, but I got a reason to fight you. And he's just like, I only have quarrel with... well... Midgard, but if you wanna fight, sure, go on ahead. Alright. I'd like to explain a few things about this fight. For one, Daos is, story-wise, immune against physical attacks. Only magic can hurt him. Gameplay-wise, that is not quite accurate. What actually happens in practice is that he gets healed for however much physical damage you do after a short time, like, I don't know, a quarter of a second or something like that. So, you can theoretically just nuke him if you just chain Chrono Glasses and time stop him into oblivion. So you can defeat him, it will never trigger his heal. However, I don't have enough Chrono Glasses for something like that, so I have a secondary strategy to work through here. And that strategy is, as you know, magic is really good against him. Indignation in particular will just absolutely demolish this poor guy. However, you need like 7 or 8 indignation spellcasts, and he is strong. Like, this guy attacks like crazy. It's not easy to defeat this guy, it is ridiculous. However, I have a little plan, and my plan is to keep these guys here around. So, I have mentioned this earlier when we were fighting Demetel. Spellcasters don't cast their spells unless they have a direct line of sight to one of your characters. But these two guys here in the way, they are protecting us from Daos. So I'm just gonna do nothing but cast Indignation and just tank this guy. And preferably, he walks far enough back that this evil lord does not get hit by Indignation. So the evil lord will just survive a sufficient amount of Indignations before Daos gets knocked out. Okay, I'll track him over a little bit. They do a lot of damage. But this is where Mint's extra heal kind of comes into play. I specifically want her to heal like Cress all the time. Okay, this guy is dangerous. And this is kind of the clever strategy that I came up with when trying to figure out how to defeat him in a speedrun. Don't kill the little guys. It's very unhealthy for you. And effectively, story-wise, what is happening here is we are kind of fighting him in the same state that he used to be fighting in the intro cutscene, except that he is fighting a different party of adventurers now. Instead of fighting Edward D. Morrison, he is fighting us right now instead. Okay, Archie needs some MP, so we're gonna give her an orange gummy. This is going much better than anticipated. If these guys use their whips, they can double hit Cress for a tremendous amount of damage. So I've gotten reasonably lucky that this guy just decided to not use his whips, and he is free. So I'm just gonna keep using Phoenix to try and stop him from doing this, but he lasered me. Thankfully, I'm standing far enough away from my group that he did not actually get to hit him, and we win. This is not an easy fight if you don't know, like, certain clever strategies. Well, and kinda like before, we saw the little blue stars, which well, basically means time travel, time magic, and he gets away. Someday you'll pay for the death of my family. But hey, we did manage to defeat him. For now. For the time being, if you will. So we visit the Rune Glom back and we kind of report to him that we technically defeated him, but not really. So, what do we do next? We receive a letter from Edward, who, well, apparently it's a goodbye. Either way, we got a key to go and visit Edward's house, and in here we're going to do a little bit of research as to what Edward was looking into. And this is also where we learned that he has been doing a lot of research into time travel. Now he has another reason to attack your village. He kinda does, I guess. So, in here, we find Edward D. Morrison's research notes, and he basically figures out that there are, in fact, ways to potentially for us to time travel as well. If you remember, Tornix D. Morrison is who sent us into the past earlier, but considering that nobody else uses time travel magic right now, except for the guy that presumably died to a demon attack earlier, we are kind of in a pickle. But we learned here about a sunken city of Thor in the ocean that supposedly had time travel technology. So that would be one way to go. But also, we kind of realized that, you know, even if we can time travel back to defeat dolls, there's kind of a big other problem too. And that other problem is that magic does no longer exist where Mint and Crest come from. So we can actually not defeat dolls because we just would not be able to cast magic. So Mint just kind of proposes here that we need to go and save magic right now. By the way, it does not matter whether you say yes or no, you can just go wherever anyways. But we have two objectives. Find the city of Thor in order to time travel, in order to defeat dolls, for one. The other objective is that we want to go ahead and somehow figure out how to heal the mana tree and restore it to its full power so it does not deplete in the 100 years and protect it in some capacity. How do we do this? Well, we actually don't know at this point. Let me just buy all the rune bottles for later use, I guess. Also, while I have the max HP thingy equipped anyways, might as well just use the rune bottles real quick on the remainder of the savories here. Turn them into red sages. And almost maxed out the HP in Crest here. Well, that's not entirely true, that is with the Onyx equipped. We also picked up a Jade Ring along the way, which reduces your TP cost by a third. This thing is really good. But it's not good enough. We can use a rune bottle on the Jade Ring, if I find it in my inventory. Hello, Jade Ring. Am I blind again? Also, we can transform the charm bottles. Oh, there's the Jade Ring. We now have a Fairy Ring. This reduces MP cost by half. So we can just cast spells basically twice as much, which is much better than slowly regenerating TP over time in combat. I mean, you could technically use both at the same time. Gotta equip the battle rune again, so we deal more damage. And I do not believe we level up high enough to get the new abilities I'm looking for. We did not, okay. Also, I just realized I don't have jet boots on anybody anymore, so let's give you jet boots so we can run. Well, that's good enough. Alrighty, so, 2 objectives. One, we need to figure out how to possibly save the mana tree, and then we go and figure out the time travel. So I'm gonna go for the mana tree first. And the way we're gonna do this is we're going to visit a place we haven't been yet. So if you're just watching this and don't know the story, sorry, you don't have a way to know what is going to happen. But although, if you have played Tales of Symphonia, you might have a certain idea. How could you possibly amplify healing magic sufficiently in order to heal something that is way beyond your reach? Well, the short version is our adventure party has no idea. Absolutely no clue. But we can figure it out. Actually, need some more life bottles and flare bottles too. Okay. So the way we can figure this out is you need to have talked with one of the NPCs that tells you about unicorns. And then, afterwards, you need to go to sleep in an inn. And this cutscene actually plays in any of the inns that I know. I think Alvanista works, this one here works, and Midgar works. This is basically a little flashback. And I love this music. This is Little Mint. With her mother. Mint is really enamored by the little earrings that her mother has. They are in the shape of a little white horse with a horn on its head, also known as a unicorn. So, Mint's mother says that these earrings are very special to her. She can't just give them to her, but, you know, you can take this hat until you can have the earrings. And this hat was a bit too large for Mint. It still is, but she's kind of still wearing it, you know. And in the morning, we woke up, we see Mint staring out the window and remembers the stories about the unicorn who can grant wishes. Maybe it might be able to provide some tremendous healing power. The unicorn is the symbol of healing arts. So, let's go and visit the unicorn. Where do we find the unicorn? Well, beyond the Valhalla Plains. So we're just gonna travel back there. Archie, just kind of sleeping. Wake up. We need to go. Right, let's head over to the Valhalla Plains. And this is the reason why the skip doesn't work, by the way, in the speedrun. You have to go through the Valhalla Plains to a different exit, and while the event is going on when you're fighting these enemies, you just straight up cannot get to the Valhalla Plains. The game will not let you use a different exit. If anybody has an idea on how to make it work anyways, I don't know if I explored all the avenues. But for now, we're just playing this more casual, I guess. Just call Randy for help with the mana tree. I mean, Randy was doing his best. The only thing I know is I need to just stick to the left side, which I think is not the most efficient way to get to the Valhalla Plains. But it should guarantee eventually arriving there. I think that's it. Nope, no, not yet. Oh, am I too early? I think I'm too early. I see. Needed to go up here instead. Made a little loop-de-loop for no reason. There we go. We have arrived. This is the forest where the unicorn lives, indeed. And only girls with pure intent and heart can possibly meet the unicorn, so of course, the guys have to stay behind here. And Mint and Archie are the ones that go ahead. Archie's just, can't I just hang out with you guys? Crest is just kind of completely oblivious as to what is happening, and Clarf is just laughing as to, you know, what is going on here. I think there are some interesting items along the way. Oh yeah, these things here. Those medicinal herbs you can sell later for a lot of money, so I'm just gonna pick up a bunch. So the short version is, you know, the pure maidens can meet the unicorn, and Archie kind of did not want to go into this forest. You probably can imagine why. Either way, after a short while, well, when we eventually go the correct way anyways, and stop picking up medicinal herbs, Archie just goes, I'm gonna meet you over there, I need to go bye. Something like that. I'm gonna check over here, bye. Mint is just all on her own, which, well, if the stories are true about the unicorn, this is probably the good way to go about it. And there's the unicorn indeed. As soon as Archie left, Mint just found it. And the unicorn goes, what the heck do you want? What can I do for you? I need your help. And this is kind of where I personally, once again, I'm a reasonably big fan of Clarf as a character, and his character development for that matter, where he just talks with Cress about, you know, you kind of seem to like Mint, and vice versa, and just like, ah, whatever, forget it. But then also recognizes that there are some evil spirits around here. We need to go and help Mint, because something bad is happening. Do you want to say that Archie actually held hands with a boy? Yes, that's why Archie cannot meet the unicorn. Let's hurry up. Alright, we need to go and help them. All the things about not being able to meet stuff is all out the window. By the way, we can go and pick up Archie here, that's just randomly walking around. I think she's in like 3 different places that you can find her. Hi Archie, bye Archie. But it's kind of a funny dialogue when you just leave her behind, and then she comes back later. Alrighty. There's 3 of these clowns. This is where we want to use Luna. They do take a good chunk of damage from Luna, and this is also where I want to use the Moon Phallox. This fight here in particular is so much faster if you have the Moon Phallox. You can 2-shot them with the correct ability if you have Cress a bit of a higher level, which is really, really strong. Instead, the substitute is just spamming Luna over and over. If you pick up Archie, she can cast Ray as well, which is kind of decent. One more. And there we go. Oh, we learned Fury Slash. This is what I would have liked to have on this battle, but that's okay. And there we go. Mint, are you alright? I'll be okay. So the unicorn ended up protecting Mint, but kind of paid for it dearly. It is still strong enough, because... well, maybe not that strong, I guess. But kind of like certain other unicorns, it recognizes Mint has a pure heart and the best intentions, so it just kind of transforms into a unicorn horn staff, and effectively gives all the power over to Mint. For her to hopefully be strong enough to heal the tree. So let's go and try that. Archie, where have you been? I thought that the unicorn would refuse to see me. What makes you think that? Because, well, once there was this guy and, well, we held hands. And what? And, you know, so I thought the unicorn wouldn't see me. Whatever, let's just go and save the Tree of Life already. Yeah, Tree of Mana. The Tree of Life is... maybe something else. Also, welcome back here. Stand back, everyone. This is going to be the most powerful spell I'll ever cast. Which, by the way, she's going to cast Nurse here as a healing spell. Which, fun fact, if you have not yet learned Nurse as a healing spell, she's going to cast Heal. Or even First Aid. It's actually kind of nice attention to detail. That's a really strong healing spell. Mint, get away from the horn! No! If I stop now, the unicorn's power will be wasted, and then we'll never save Martel. So Mint was entirely ready to just sacrifice herself here, because she did not want to back off of this. Everyone okay? Well, the tree looks a lot nicer than before. Good job, Mint. I feel like great power returning. Is this your doing? Yep. Apparently the unicorn was just super powerful and could heal the tree. If only it knew about the perils of the mana tree. But well, we kinda brought parts of the unicorn back. And here we are. So, hopefully mana is going to be fine in 100 years, right? Well... I just thought of something. Do you think it's possible that Daos attacked Midgard in order to preserve Mana's power? So he could use it for himself. It makes sense. If he controlled all the magic, he'd be invulnerable. Well, the only one who can answer this is Daos. Then let's make our way to Thor and find Daos. This is the hour. Alright. Is it possible that he wanted to prevent Midgard from using the Magitech? Because the reason why mana was basically vanishing from this world was because Magitech was draining all of the sap, or all of the mana from the world. Like, it literally depleted it faster than it could possibly recover and regenerate. Those poor little owlbears are, you know, kind of low level at this point. They tried. But yeah, that's kind of the short version as to what happened there. Mana got depleted not because Dals was trying to do that. He was trying to have Midgard stop using magic technology. So... Yep. Which kind of throws the entire earlier narrative out of order. Or at least what we thought was the narrative. Or I guess at least that's what is implied to be the narrative. If you're smarter than me, you could have probably figured out most of the things as you go. Or maybe stuff is lost in translation, I actually don't know. Welcome back to Phantasia. So how do we go to the Abyss of Thor? Well, that's an excellent question. I do believe we can just charter a ship over there, because we did find the location as to where it was supposed to be. But because it is at the bottom of the ocean, that could be a bit difficult. But thankfully, we have somebody who can help us with going to the bottom of the ocean, because somebody might have really good connections to a water elemental called Undine. Are you sure you're gonna be fine? Yeah, we'll die from here. It's okay. Spirit of the water, please take us to the ocean floor. Understood. You know, I feel like Clark would not be that great at dealing with the monkey's paw genie type of deal. Because he never specified that we should be alive when getting to the bottom of the ocean floor. Thankfully, Undine is not that mean. And welcome to one of my favorite locations. Just atmosphere-wise. Wow. We're really at the bottom of the ocean? Look, you can see the entire ocean above us. We'd better not wander off. Somehow the city has been able to endure the incredible pressure. Do you think there's really a time travel device here? Difficult to say. We'd better have a look around. So the city does actually have its own protective bubble that we kind of entered somehow, where there's not water everywhere. And here we find some kind of card. There's someone's face printed on it. I wonder if the ancient culture played cards. It's probably useless, let's keep looking around. We take the card anyways. You suddenly don't need to breathe. It is implied that the city here is having like its own shield. Like they did not... I'm not gonna go through the entire story, but the short version is this place here did not sink to the ground of the ocean by accident. They made it sink, and they had contingency plans for it. Although I'm not entirely sure why there's just plants growing down here everywhere. Like, they look like algae and stuff, but I think it's more like supposed to be regular plant growth grass type of deal. I think. There's like this entire building that we can check out for some stuff. It's rusted shut. Oh yeah, right, we have to open it first. This door over here as well. That's what I was thinking of. And there's an entire... Wait, no, that's not what I was thinking of. They did not use two-factor authentication. Well, it's probably a good thing they didn't. Also, I don't remember why, but I remember wanting to equip the Mecha Halberd here. I think some of the enemies upcoming are rather resilient to light magic. Alrighty. What is this thing's purpose? Try putting in the card we found in there. Processing. Security ID confirmed. Access granted. What? Where did that come from? I don't see anyone else around. Alright, the door is open now. Oh wait, the rest of the story you get you don't get until later. Because I think you need to come back here later. Either way, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use a holy bottle, interact with the door, and it says it's locked. So counterintuitively, this is not necessarily the door where we came from. There are these chests down here now. And one of them randomly contains the key. You can manipulate the RNG if you know how. Oh, it's the last one. No, it's not the last one. And then one of these, I think 7 random doors contains the exit. I did not mean to run into these guys, they are kinda spooky. Let's see if I can knock it out before it knocks me out. At least I remember them. Yep, that's why it's kinda spooky. It just paralyzed me. Oh. Well, maybe not that spooky. Also, I think what I want to do here is I want to move you back and you to the middle, so you're protected from the spells coming up. So one of these doors randomly is now leading to where we need to go, to a treasure chest or back outside. And it's basically as soon as I find a door that works, which one it is entirely random. Man, it's gonna be the last door I checked too that actually works to begin with. There we go, it worked. Where do we land? Oh, it's the treasure chest. Alright, this is a book of spells. Archie learned God Breath. This is basically a high power wind elemental attack. I don't actually know where this is useful, but it's a thing. Alright, now I have to get the key again. Because of course, like in most universes and RPGs, the key just entirely dissolves once you use it once. And magically reappears back in the chest where it was. You know, if you have ever played Phantasia on the NES, you might have actually wondered at some point that, well, why do they keep using or having these salesmen that sell keys in all of these cities? Well, that's probably why, because... Oh, 1 Maxwell is enough? That's probably why, because they just keep dissolving the keys every time they are used. It's just like throwaway keys. It's a genius business model, so to speak. The problem is everybody can just go and buy keys in that universe and use them on the corresponding door, and it just works. So I'm not sure about the security aspect of it. Ah, wow, that's kind of ideal. Second try is the charm. Alright, I'm gonna allow Mint to cast Nurse again. Alrighty, do I want to prepare anything else? I don't think so. Intruder alert, intruder alert. Alright, we have to fight these things. This is where, you know, machines are of course weak to lightning. So we use indignation on this thing in the back, because this is actually literally the most annoying thing right there. And it's going to hit us in the back first, so I need to get rid of it. Ah, stop using tech missiles. Okay, this is a bit annoying. So, I'm actually literally just using an hourglass, so Archie can get rid of the thing in the back here. This is, I use an entire unreplaceable hourglass just so we can get one spell cast more off. Now, 2 more things are gone, and we can just start working on these little machines. It feels like a waste of an hourglass, but I know that the original speedrun used 1 hourglass here, just because this is not terribly dangerous, but it's really annoying to deal with. Thanks, Mint. Oh, you actually did heal Cress. I didn't realize you would hit them too. Normally it only hits whatever is on the screen. Alright, that should do the trick. It did not do the trick yet. Ah, that did the trick. Okay. This worked out like a charm. Kind of. Well, it was a bit awkward. And we found another contract ring, the diamond ring. But considering we're about to travel back to the future, I don't think about it too much. So, upcoming is where I finally am going to try and use all the hourglasses. I think normally 2 are sufficient, but it could be a bit awkward, but we'll see. Yeah, oh, no, I ordered my stuff. I did not mean to order my stuff. That's actually not terrible ordering here. Alright, rune bottles on the hourglasses. We're gonna make 3 hourglasses into chronoglasses, stopping time for 10 seconds each. We're not using the moon phalanx. I think... well, actually, I think it would have been better in this fight. But it will be better to use the other thing in upcoming fights. Also, I forgot to equip the Fury Slash. This is ridiculously strong, just singular hit. And it comes up pretty quick, it has decent range. It is so much better than basically any other attack you have. At least, I think, personally. That's not actually true, because I'm not even going to use it in the upcoming battle. Well, not intentionally anyways. What is this? It's some strange kind of machine. Main system operational. Biome systems diagnostic running. What the heck? What the... Welcome to the central processing. I am Oz, the mother computer. Select program to run. Time warp or medical treatment. Time warp. I just healed. Confirming ID. Time rift driver operational. Boosting power level. The city's power is not turned on. The city mayor must decide. The mayor is dead. I now appoint you mayor of Thor. Please make a decision. I don't follow. We need to repair the city's power system in order to use the time warp. Repower the city? Yes. Attention, people of Thor. Power will now be restored to the main grid. Something's happening. Is this really a good idea? Well, I just hope the boat is not above us anymore, otherwise there might be in a little bit of a tsunami trouble. Because their idea of getting the power back online is resurfacing the entire city of Thor. It looks like it's done. Amazing, the entire city was raised out of the ocean. Alright. And I'm actually gonna save again. Because this upcoming fight is... you know, I don't have convenient little thralls protecting me from the big bad evil guy. Alrighty. What are we gonna do? Well, it is time to face Dals. The one that basically wiped out the entire home village of Cress and Chester. Required energy level reached. Please enter time and location destination. We need to go 100 years into the future. May 21st, in the front of the sarcophagus in the mausoleum south of Totus. Confirming ID. Security clearance met. Please prepare for time travel. Here we go, everyone. couldn't you have traveled, you know, a little bit less far into the future and saved your city first? I guess the entire purpose is to not mess with time stuff too much and actually go defeat DAOs. So against this fight here, you don't want to use the Moonphalanx because I think he resists wholly. So overall, the short version about... Actually, I'm gonna tell you once we get to it. But yeah, welcome back to the little blue star of time travel. You see the symbol? Time travel is involved. And we're going back to more or less where we started this adventure. We are way stronger than we used to be. For them, it will be just a blink of an eye. For us, it was a long time. This will be your final resting place. We'll see how you enjoy years of darkness here. So before he can do all of his shenanigans, we arrive. Hi. You're... Oh. DAOs, your time is finished. I won't allow you to destroy our world. And do you think you're going to stop me? My time on this world is far from over, boy. Alright, welcome to DAOs. This guy here is not weak to magic. However, he also does not heal against physical attacks, interestingly enough. So, what I want this guy to do right now is I want him to jump back. Jump back. Come on. Good. Jump. There we go. That's good enough, I think. And then I'm immediately going to use a Chronoglass to stop time. I'm using Gale Shield, which basically gives these little particles that go up below you. And it deals a ridiculous amount of damage. Effectively unblockable damage because it is supposed to be, you know, defensive, but because he's in the corner, he cannot go anywhere. And he's gone. Let me tell you, this is a mean fight if you don't do cheese like that. Don't worry. This is not the end yet. We did it! I spoiled it, I guess. Oh yeah, the classic escape sequence. Everything is crumbling around us. We were too strong. What's happening? That's a good question. It's the classic thing where Mother Brain explodes and we need to get back to the spaceship before the self-destruct sequence activates. Hurry up! And hey, the best part is Jester is still alive. Like, the expectation, at least for me when I played this first, was he is dead. Ornix was probably dead as well. But considering that we just managed to get back here, this is neat. Sir Tristan, run! Whee. And so Dals was buried in the cave-in and disappeared into the center of the earth. A few days later, the summoner Clarth and the mage Archie after all the joy and sadness they shared with us, it is time to say goodbye. Because you know they are from a different time. They probably should return back there. I can't believe this is goodbye. I know. Archie and I will go alone. Don't ever forget me. I could never forget you guys. Mint, please don't cry. I'm glad that fate found a way to bring the four of us together. Who could have thought that four people from different times and places could have possibly had the times we've had? I love this music, it's so good. I know. Clarf, Archie, take care. I'm going to miss you. I'll miss you too. I guess this is goodbye. What the hell is going on? Also, I apologize to anybody who did not know the story. I really regret just kind of saying that earlier. Because this would have been such a nice ending too. I realized it too late that I was just talking too early. But suddenly, debris falls from the sky. And something really unpleasant is happening. That's a few days later, by the way. I think it's over. What the hell was that? And we are visited by the light of time travel. Who's that? It worked! Tornix D. Morrison's house, the year 4302. Wait, he says Tornix D. Morrison's house? Oh yeah, that would make sense, because this is Tornix D. Morrison. That light! It was time travel. Correct, I come from Alvanista 50 years from now. My name is Harrison. The future? Dals has been terrorizing your future. Hal sent back in time to find the only people in history to ever defeat Dals. Are you saying Dals created the cave-in on purpose? He feared us returning to the past to get you. That's why those meteors crashed into the area. He hoped to kill you. I thought Dals was killed by the cave-in. We've got to do something. Well, everybody agrees, and the way he traveled actually back home, or well, to this time here, Harrison did, is through the Abyss of Thor. Tornix says he is going to stay here. He can't help anymore. At this point, he's way weaker than we are, but good luck. So, Thor, 100 years in the future, still standing, still considering us the mayor of this place, and still ready to travel us 50 more years into the future. And we did actually successfully save the mana tree, otherwise we would not have been able to cast magic, so at least one of these missions was a success. Did I say Morrison? His name is Harrison. Also, my favorite part about this is that Chester just comes with us. This was kind of one of the biggest surprises when I first played through this game, because, you know, he doesn't learn abilities. If you know anything about the RPGs, usually they don't invest a whole lot of time into temporary characters, so Chester just never learning any attack spells or abilities, you know, it's just kind of expected that he is just gone. Which is also why I originally expected him to be just gone, like, dead story-wise too. But it turns out he actually joins us here. The game will also explain to us that we can only possibly have 4 people in the party at any given moment. And right now, Chester is like, what, level 3, level 4? Something like that. He is really, really weak. But there will be a time and a place to power him up reasonably quickly. Alrighty, welcome back home, Chris, actually. This is your home village where you originally started. It looks a bit different now. After you built it up for 50 years or something like that. It is called Miguel, my father's name. For some reason, most monsters stay away from South Euclid. It's a bit of a safe haven for those who want to avoid it. What about Phantasia? Yes, we need to go to Alvanist and speak with the king. I'll go ahead to Alvanist and try to arrange some transportation. Please make yourselves at home, but come to Phanasia's harbor as soon as possible. Alright, I guess that's our next goal. We got 5 inseparable warriors together now. Except that he can only have 4 in combat. I love that it's just like, we have 5 warriors now. Yep. Except for, you know, not 5. So yeah, Chester, he needs a bit of experience, so we're just gonna put him in the party and welcome home, Chris. This is also where I think we could buy better equipment, but it's not really much of a point to buy them right now. So what can I sell that we don't need anymore? Oh yeah, we can now sell the cat's eye for 50,000. This is when This is kind of what I meant with, we can sell those later for much more money than we can sell them right now. Later is now, 150 years later to be exact. I'm never gonna use Alexis, I'm just gonna sell these 2. You don't need these. I'm not gonna use this thing anymore. Just gonna clean up the inventory so I don't have nearly as much stuff. Sell the second mecha halberd. Leave the stack of a weapon. I don't know if there's much more or more enemies that drop these weapons, to be honest. Keep the battle rune because Chester actually gets that one. He does not get abilities, he still doesn't get abilities, but his physical attacks are actually going to be incredibly powerful. No, we keep the chronoglass. I only needed 2. I wasn't sure whether I need 1 or 2. Alright, so we can buy a Damascus or a glaive here. Damascus is a way better slash weapon, so I'm gonna buy one of these. We could also buy a new bow for Chester here, but we're gonna replace that thing soon. There's also mithril mesh armor, that's expensive, holy cow. Holy cloaks, that's even more expensive. Yeah, but we have the money. Actually, we do have the money, but what I can do here is I can actually use one of these Lotus perfumes to reduce the prices by 50%. So I think this is one of the few times I'm actually gonna go ahead and buy this much stuff. Actually, I think I'm gonna buy 2 mithril mesh. I didn't check whether Archie can actually equip these. I think she can equip mithril mesh, but I'm really not sure about the other things. Either way, only costs half as much now, and let's finally equip our other friends here. Oh yeah, she also has the unicorn horn staff on the holy cloak. Holy cloak for you. You get a composite ball and mithril armor, and you get a Damascus sword. After all this time, we finally get a different weapon than the mecha halberd. Do you sell new spells? Summoning monsters. The art of summoning monsters was forgotten many years ago. I wish I could see someone do that kind of magic. Hey, you're a mage, aren't you? This is an old spell, not a particularly effective one these days, but you may have it. Archie learned how to cast the eruption spell. I did not know this was free. You figured trash weapons would stack into it. I mean, it's just kind of that one particular type of weapon that happens to be dropped by the lizardmen. But yeah, that's kind of all there is to this area here. Let's head over north to Venezia. And this is one of the best overworld themes that there is. However, as mentioned before, I don't really have that much time for today, so I think this might be a good stopping point. We have arrived in the future. The adventure is not over yet. It will be, eventually. But for now, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for listening and for lurking. I hope you enjoyed your stay, I hope you enjoyed being around, and well, hopefully until next time, take care, and have a good night. Tomorrow, I hope to finish this game. There is technically a lot of side stuff I could do, but I will probably skip most of it. Because I would like to get to some more games, which, by the way, you can vote for in the Discord which game you would like to see next. Currently, Hollow Knight is the one that is the highest on the list, but, well, who knows. Thank you so much.